Loud. And hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here this evening. We have a lot of you on today, which makes me really happy and excited. I'm glad that you guys are all showing up for yourself so that you can learn a little bit more about whatever next phase of your life that is coming or whatever phase of your life that you are in. This talk definitely caters to people in their late 30s, for sure 40s, even more 50s and 60s and beyond. So like really we can all benefit from this conversation. I think that one of the reasons that we're so lucky right now in this day and age is that we get to learn a lot more than what our parents and our grandparents would have learned about this stage of their lives. Um, I remember when my mom was, when I was, well, when she was my age, I was probably only 9. So I don't remember, but I remember when she was about 50, maybe 52. The only thing I recall of my mom, aside from moody, because she was always moody, but I remember her unbuttoning she had like a button blouse and then an undershirt under it. And I remember her in the kitchen unbuttoning her blouse, getting so mad and ripping off her shirt and being like, I'm so hot, I'm so hot. And I was like, what in the hell is happening? And I was about 14 years old. And then when I was telling my mom, so I think perimenopause kind of started a little bit earlier than my mom for me, because a couple of years ago is when I sweat through the night, like literally sweating through I'm sure many of you have experienced it. And I was only probably 42, I'd say, so maybe 3 years ago when it happened. And I remember telling her, and she said, oh, I never had that. She said, I never really had a lot of symptoms, or that she thought. She said, but your aunt had more than I did, her sister. She's like, she did whatever. But back in the day, they wouldn't even have related things like frozen shoulder to menopause or peri-menopause or post-menopause, joints, all those kind of things. It was just like, that was the issue and that was that. So we're so lucky to be able to understand more, get through these stages of perimenopause, then postmenopause, and then our older years with a little bit more information. And I think seeing our elders, like, seeing my mom. Now, my mom wasn't necessarily out of shape. Like she looked like she was in shape. She was a thinner woman. She walked, a lot, but she had no muscle. She had osteoporosis and she broke every bone from shoulder to toe multiple times. So, um, I don't want to be that. And so I don't think any of you want to be that. And, watching my mom literally break both shoulders, both wrists, both knees, both ankles, um, because she fell literally on carpet and broke those bones. Like, I don't want to be that. And so it just motivates us. Unfortunately, she maybe didn't learn how important strength training was and all this stuff, but we get to learn. So we get to make it different for our kids, and then our kids get to learn for themselves. So anyway, in saying that, thank you again all for being here. This is amazing. I'm gonna take 1 second. I'm gonna take a quick photo. If you don't want your face or your name on display for whatever reason, I'll black it out, but I'm just gonna take a quick photo because I'm loving how many people care about themselves right now. So it's just gonna be a quick little snap, and that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna start my presentation. I want and welcome questions if you have any. You are welcome to interrupt me. You are welcome to put in the chat. You're welcome to speak, or I will wait or at the end, I will ask people if you have questions. I suggest if you think of a question but you don't want to interrupt, again, interrupting is no problem, but if you don't want to, write it down, put it in your phone. Don't forget it because we're all here. And any question you have, probably 10 other people on this call have the same question. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I love to answer them. And if I can't answer them, I have close relationships with professionals that can answer them, and I can get that answer for you. Okay. So I am going to try my best to properly share everything that I have that I want to share with you today. Okay, so, and I do want to say to anybody on here that is less than 40 in your 30s, kudos to you for being here to learn more before you step into the stage of life that's going to change it, like it just is. In my 30s, I had no idea. So I'm glad that, I'm learning more before my 50s. Okay, so this is about incorporating fitness into our daily lives. It's actually about incorporating fitness and nutrition into our daily lives with a focus on perimenopause and postmenopause. So we're going to talk about exercising through the years. Different stages of life require different types of fitness. When we're in our 20s and early 30s, you can really do various types of fitness from cardio to strength to circuits to HIIT, sprints, and gain benefits from everything. In the younger years, we can focus on working our muscle to failure to create hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is just gaining muscle mass, growing your muscles. When you are younger, you can get away with hypertrophy movements because you have the support in the body to develop strength. But during perimenopause and postmenopause, we need to come at it with a central nervous system angle. When we lose estrogen, which we do as we enter the perimenopause stage, we need to include heavier lifting. If you're hearing a weird sound in the background, it's Rocky pawing at the chair. When we lose estrogen, we need to include heavier lifting with less repetitions to stimulate myosin, which is a protein that converts chemical energy to mechanical energy to generate more force and movement. So the days of excessive cardio are gone. Hallelujah, because most people know how much I love cardio. Okay, so I'm glad that's not the 20-minute workout is gone. Whoever's old enough to have watched 20-minute workout with the headbands and jumping around and they're barely doing anything, but it's all cardio, and it's for 20 minutes, that is gone. Walking is one of the best forms of exercise. For most, it's not hard to do. It can be done alone or with a friend. It keeps you moving and it's good for your mental health. Excessive running, elliptical, cycling for hours at a time daily are not really going to be effective for us during our years of peri and postmenopause. Guys, listen to me. Listen to this. Excessive. So like a couple of hours or like just every day. You don't have to be doing that because looking for skinny is not where it's at anymore. It's looking for strong, not looking for skinny, okay? Because you can be, I hate to use the term, but skinny fat, which is you've lost a ton of weight, however you've done it, you're exercising through cardio like mad, you're dieting, whatever you're doing, but you don't have the muscle mass, which is what you need as we get older, okay? Cardio can complement your strength training workouts. So don't get rid of it. That's not what I'm saying. But it shouldn't be the only thing you do or the majority of what you do. Why? Why is that the reason? Somebody's not muted here, I don't think. Sorry, guys. Somebody isn't muted, and I'm gonna look for you. Oh, I found you. Oh no, I didn't. Just because I don't found you. All right, I just don't want any, weird stuff happening. Okay, so muscle and bone loss. Why do we not want excessive cardio? Muscle and bone loss. Excessive steady state cardio can break down muscle and does little for bone strength, while resistance and plyometric training, which we'll get into, are essential for preserving both. Hormonal stress. Excessive cardio elevates cortisol, which in women, especially over 40, can increase belly fat, slow recovery, and blunt muscle repair. Metabolic inefficiency, the body adapts to long cardio by burning fewer calories for the same effort. making fat loss harder over time if cardio is the only strategy. So I'm going to give you an example of a client I used to have who's now moved to Calgary, but she used to cycle all every day, all the time, like let's say 20, 30, 40K. I don't know, lots. And she did this for years and years and years. And she would say, like, how come I do all of this and my body isn't changing? And I told her, because you're doing the same thing over and over for years and years. How do you expect your body to change? Your body has adapted to this cardio, and you're not giving your body anything to change to, or change with, or change for. So if you're constantly doing the same thing, the same 15-minute walk, the same whatever it is, you got to change it up. Okay. So if it's you're walking from, this street to that street and it's a straight line, hey, go to that street that has the hills. Even just change it up like that. And then it gives you limited functional benefits. Cardio alone doesn't build power, strength, or resilience for aging well. And too much without recovery can actually leave women feeling fatigued instead of stronger. Muscle and bone loss. I just got to move you guys here. Okay. If you've heard of the words sarcopenia, osteoporosis, you might be like, what are all these things? So sarcopenia is the very beginning. It's the start. Okay. It's the loss of age-related muscle and strength. Leads to weakness, mobility issues, and balance issues. So it's the start. As we age, we lose muscle and bone. And so that's what sarcopenia is. Osteopenia is the loss of bone mineral density, which is a precursor to osteoporosis. Okay, so osteopenia is that step before osteoporosis, and bones can break easier. Osteoporosis is the bone disease that makes bones more brittle, weak, and porous by reducing bone mass and density. Leads to a higher risk of fractures in hip, spine, and wrist. Common post-menopause. And I think a lot of women here, a lot of you on here probably know that when you're older and you break a hip, not a good thing. There's a very high percentage of people that when they break a hip within a year, they die. So it's so important. And as I told you the story about my mom, how she will fall, she fell, and lots of you on here know this because you were with me when she was with me, and broke two shoulders at the same time, plus a wrist, same time. She was out of commission. She was here for 6-8 weeks, however long it was. All I know is it felt like it was 3 years, and it was horrible. And that was about 3 years ago. And then a year later, she fell at my brother's on carpet and broke her wrist in two places. So she had osteoporosis. So she is my example of like not wanting to lose all the muscle mass in my body as I age. Bone density exam. Now, this is ridiculous to me. You are not really told to get a bone density in Ontario, or maybe all of Canada, I don't know, until you're 65 plus for women and 75 plus for men. It was not like that before, years back. But I guess they wanted to limit how many appointments they were having, how many whatever they were doing. And so now you can't even go and check to see what those bones are like unless you have a pre-existing condition. So me, for example, I've had 3 bone density exams because I have an autoimmune condition. I have ulcerative colitis. So because of that, I'm given bone density exams every 5 years. But aside from people who have an issue, they can't. So unless maybe your doctor is wonderful, you ask them, they send you, I don't know. But if you don't know, you're going in blindly, and you go at 65 or 70, or maybe you don't even go, and you have no idea. So make sure you're working at that before you even have to go, oh, shoot, I have, my bone density score is really low. I better start working on it. It's too late at that point. So start working on it. When I was only 33, yes, 33 with my first bone density exam. And my gastroenterologist said to me, because my ulcerative colitis, my bone density wasn't where it should have been, my numbers. And he said to me, I'm so glad that since you were 18 for this many years, you've been using weights. He says, because I would be scared to see what your bones look like if you hadn't been. So, thank goodness for that. Maintaining bone health. Perimenopausal women lose bones slowly, 0.5 to 1% per year, and this loss accelerates as women enter menopausal, so really, I'm going to say postmenopausal transition. Just so everyone knows, menopause isn't a thing. Menopause is a day. So it's it's perimenopause, then 365 days of not having your period. That 365 day is your day of menopause. And after that day, it's called postmenopause. Okay. So we could lose up to 20% of our bone density during the 5 to 7 years following menopause unless we take action. After that period, the loss slows down and becomes more gradual, but we still face bone loss. Postmenopausal women with low bone density can see an increase of 1% per year in spine and hips, which are the most affected areas when doing a regular routine. Cycling and swimming are great forms of exercise, but not so great on building or maintaining bone. Target upper body. I don't know why I have that in there. Lift heavy with proper training. Lift heavy with proper training. We'll get into. Fall risks as we age can be very serious. Strength training helps with building and maintain bone, which in turn helps us to prevent injury and breaks when we fall, like I talked about in the previous slide. Exercise prescription for pre and post menopause. Lift heavy stuff. And if you are online and you are watching some of the really great ladies who are giving us this information, excuse my French, they will be saying lift heavy shit. Okay. And it's everywhere. Lift heavy shit. 3 days of heavy resistance training, 8 to 10 reps, 45 minutes in length is a decent amount of time for someone to do. 2 days of sprint intervals, which we'll get into a little bit more. 30 seconds, 10 out of 10 intensity. That means hardcore, 30 seconds. Oh my God, I can't breathe after 30 seconds. 2 to 3 minute rest. Perform 4 to 10 times. I don't know what happened here. I actually changed this. I must have saved some wrong thing. I don't want it to say 4 to 10 times. I wanted to say approximately 5 times. So I'm not really sure what happened here. But anyway, 4 to 10 times is fine. 5 times is good. 15 to 20 reps, which we may be used to doing, doesn't invoke a good central nervous system response. It does help with hypertrophy, which is muscle building and muscle tearing. However, we want to increase the strength by invoking the central nervous system. This helps to improve muscle recruitment and activation. And I suggest to mix it up. So some sets are heavier with less reps and some can be lighter with more reps, but rest between sets. And that's a difficult one for people. We have our pure muscle class where I make sure we rest between sets, but unfortunately within that 60-minute class, I don't have time to rest for, 1 to 3 minutes or whatever, 1.5 to 3 minutes. So we only rest for about 45 seconds. However, if you're doing workouts on your own and you're lifting heavy, you could rest for 2 to 3 minutes. You can rest for 1.5 to 2.5 minutes. So why do we want muscle in our body? There's so many reasons, but creating your muscle in your body is beneficial for various reasons, and a few are as follows. So it prevents that sarcopenia from happening. It increases strength to maintain independence. I want to talk a little bit about this. So as women, we want to stay in our power, right? As we get older, we're in our 40s, in our 50s, in our 60s, in our 70s. We give less FUs, right? You give less Fs. You're like, oh, I don't care about that as much as I used to in my 20s. Oh, you have something bad to say about me. Too bad for you, right? Great. You're getting more power as you get older. You don't want to feel a loss of power because all of a sudden you're exhausted or you're falling or you can't lift the groceries or you can't get up from the chair. Where's your power? That's not your power. You want to stay in power. You want to age and be able to carry your groceries from the car to the house. You want to carry your garbage from the house to the curb. You want to be able to, I don't know, lift up the pot and move it over. You want to get up from the floor if you have to. One of the most important things. So that's why we need muscle right there. Aside from that, it helps to burn more calories at rest, decreases abdominal fat. Your body appears leaner because muscle replaces fat and takes up less space. Helps to manage blood sugar levels, improves heart health, improves cognitive health. And I was doing some research and found this little research paper that said those with sarcopenia had a 2.4 greater risk of dementia. So we want to, you know, stay away from that if we can, or as long as we can. So types of strength training exercises. These are what I call the meat and potatoes. There are so many exercises, my goodness. But just some of the types of strength training exercises that you might do where you could use heavier weights is a chest press, a bent over row, squats, deadlifts, glute bridges and thrusts, lunges. Those are some of the main power exercises that you can do. You can grab some heavier weights and try those. Now, please, and I think I have another slide on this, do not just throw in heavy weights out of nowhere. You haven't worked out before. That is not going to be beneficial for you. And we're going to get into that. And then there's the sprint interval exercises. Jump squats, assault bike, sprint on treadmills or hills, punch a boxing bag, skipping. And when I say this is the sprint interval where I say 30 seconds, high intensity, 2 to 3 minutes of rest. And this helps with improving insulin sensitivity, fat burning, and muscle building. Okay. So the next slide, I'm going to try to do something here. We're going to see if I can technologically do this. Okay. So jump training. If you've been listening to Dr. Stacy Sims, Mary Haver Claire, Vonda Wright, those are three phenomenal ladies to listen to for perimenopause and postmenopausal information. Amazing. They will talk about jump training. Why jump training for the bone? For bones. When you jump, your muscles pull on bones and the impact creates a rapid strain on your bone tissue. This stress signals bone cells, osteocytes, to activate, initiating the remodeling process that adds new bone tissue and increases density. The pounding of the jumping creates a high strain rate, which is more effective at stimulating bone growth than slower activities like walking. How do we do this? We want to land hard. So you want to land hard when you jump, absorbing impact through skeletal or skeletal, however you like to say it, system. We want multi-directional stress to the bones. Low jump, hard land. So multi-directional means not just like when you're skipping, skipping's not a terrible thing to do. Skipping's a great thing to do. But you want to be jumping side, side, multi-directional, side, side, front, back, that kind of thing. Types of jumping, jump squats, box jumps, long jumps. Who should not jump? People who have osteoporosis, people who have major incontinence issues, pelvic health issues like prolapse, really bad feet issues. And those people can work on squatting with 15 pounds or heavier weights first and maybe slowly get into some jumping. They could use a rebounder. It's not exactly the same because the pounding isn't the same, but it's still good. And I have these two links here. I'm going to see if I can be successful at this. And I have a very small clip that I want you to hear on these two links. So I just have to, you're just going to need to bear with me for a moment to see if I can figure this out. I'm going to stop my share, bring you up. Let's see. I just saw your chats. Thank you guys. Okay, I'm going to try this and see if this works. This is me being like techie savvy right now. And we're gonna do this in the inside Zoom. Like, how cool is that? So, Mary Claire Haver, and who was she with? This one was with, oh no, I'm gonna do the title. Can you guys see this bar that I'm typing in? This little YouTube bar? No, okay. Build strength, live longer. It's like within the app. It's kind of cool. Okay, here we go. See if it works. Play in meeting, allow. This app.
Carrie, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, I'm not. I was weird. It muted me. Okay, can you guys see this woman?
Yes, but it's just spinning and
I know,
spinning.
but you can
Okay.
see her.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I actually don't think this is gonna work, but I'm going to end up probably having to share my actual YouTube page. But let's see. No, it's not gonna work, of course. So we're gonna stop this. Oopsie. I'm gonna stop that. And we're gonna go to my share. Just give me 1 sec. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine. I'm not that worried about it. But I think I can do it. So we're gonna see. Zoom. Open it up. Share. Here we go. Share. Do you see this? Anne, I see you. You see this? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
I
I can see
can.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna just listen to it. It's 1 minute, and then I have another one I want to listen to for 1 minute. No, I want the 4504. 40, okay, so we're just gonna listen to this. If you can't hear it, I'm gonna nominate Anne. Please unmute and tell me you can't hear it. Okay? If you can't hear it.
We are going to learn to lift heavy weights. We're going to put down the mamby-pamby 5-pound weights that we lift 30 times to failure. And we are going to take the 6 or 9 months to work up to lifting the hex bar that you lift when you deadlift, right? To lift heavy, because it is that which is going to exert the most pulling force against your bone. We're going to jump around like a crazy person. I want people to jump 20 jumps a day, not just straight up and down, not landing lightly. I want you to thud on the floor, because we need to generate 4 times body weight. You can do that. Walking generates about 1.2 times body weight. Okay. Running 2 to 3 times, but we want a thud on the floor, and that takes jumping from a height of about 8 inches. If you cannot do that because your knees hurt too much, well, NASA uses rebounders or little trampolines. We can't use it as an excuse. We just have to do the best we can, because lifting, jumping, plus or minus estrogen, plus nutrition high in protein can help you stabilize and rebuild bone. And so, of those things,
Sound is gone now.
Yeah, the sound is gone and she's freezing.
It wasn't on our end.
Sorry, she wasn't freezing. Oh, she wasn't freezing. I stopped her and then I muted
Oh,
myself
okay.
because Rocky is barking. So I apologize that Rocky started barking during this. And I didn't know I could mute myself and you could still hear the video. So anyway, so everyone saw that? Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And now I have one more that I want to share kind of on the same topic. So I'm going to do that now. And then when I put that on, I'm going to let Rocky out because he's going ballistic. So let me get out of that one. And now we're going to open up my other one. Oh shit, where'd it go? And of course, I think I lost it. Oh,
And if we understand the difference, we can change the
okay, we don't want you. Okay, hang on a second. Go back into YouTube. We want Dr. Stacy Sims on jumping. Okay, there we go.
And we're booked. Using less points with my TD Plan Visa
All
Infinite
right.
Card.
Everything's better when you save on
I'm
vacation.
gonna share this.
Vacation.
Two ways of thinking
You
about
can
these
see it,
things.
right?
We can think about our ballistic plyometric type movements where we're taught to,
Yes, we can see it.
and you can think about our ballistic.
So we're gonna
plyometric
stop. We're gonna start
around
this at
So there's two ways of thinking
103.
type movements where we're around jump training.
Actually, I'll start it here.
So there's two ways of thinking about jump training. We can think about our ballistic plyometric type movements where we're taught to land to absorb impact in our muscle, right? With soft knees or really trying to absorb it through our posture and not having a hard landing. That can have some benefit for bone. But when we're talking about jump training for bone, we need to relearn how that jump is. We're landing hard. We're absorbing the impact through our skeletal system. So it's not a high jump. It's not a ballistic type movement. And the reason for that is we want multi-directional stress through the bone. And remembering that the body will morph with the movement, the ground doesn't. So we have ground reaction forces. We want a low jump, but a high ground reaction force to create multi-directional stress within the bone to improve bone density. So when we're looking at jump training, yeah, any kind of jumping is great. Yeah. If you're skipping rope, you're doing box jumps, that is going to contribute to bone health. If you're someone who's on the low end of bone density, so you're not osteoporotic, you might be just on the cusp of the old word osteopenic, but just low normal bone density. You will look at how am I going to increase that ground reactive force. So, I mean, I've talked about Tracy Clissold's app.
Okay. So that is that. That's all I want to share for that. So those three women that we saw, not this other lady on the end, because I don't know who she is, but there was Dr. Stacy Sims, Mary Haver Claire, and Vonda Wright. Those three ladies, and I can send it to you or write it in the thing if you don't know who they are. They have books, they have podcasts, they have YouTubes, videos. They provide, and just even on their Instagram pages, provide a ton of really great information. Okay. You can't always trust people on the internet and you can't always trust people on social media. I do find that their information is very interesting. Dr. Stacy Sims, oh my gosh, the research, like if you read into her, the amount of research that she does, they're doctors, all these things. So anyway, so that's that. I'm going back to my presentation now. I just thought those little things were helpful to share with you guys. Now the problem is, oh, good. It left. Oh. And now this is going to be a page that's interesting, in my opinion. Oh, wait, there's some chat here. What are we saying? I wouldn't be able, hi Karen, I wouldn't be able to jump hard with my two knee replacements. Absolutely. So you could do maybe rebounder and just get a little bit of jumping going. Or if that's jumping is zero option, then you just want to at least do some like squatting, lower body exercises with some heavier weights. Okay. So, oh, that's weird. Just happened. Okay, you guys can see you guys can see my presentation again? Yeah. Okay, so what about Pilates and yoga? Well, Pilates has gained so much popularity in the last decade, and yoga has been popular for many years. The question is, can practicing Pilates and yoga be enough to build muscle and help with aging, muscle decline, osteoporosis, osteopenia, etc.? So I'm not backlashing Pilates or yoga. They are beautiful. We have them at the studio. I wouldn't offer them if I didn't think they were wonderful. They really are. They're useful for learning control, gaining mobility, flexibility, core work. But those are the things that they're really beneficial at rather than as a main method for building large amounts of muscle. Okay. Pilates and yoga are great complementary additions to your strength workout, but cannot be in place of it. So, yes, do Pilates. Yes, do yoga. Amazing for your body. But that's not going to build the muscle that you need. So it's a great, in addition to your strength training workouts, let's throw in some Pilates and yoga. Even on the reformer. If you are a beginner, in the beginning, you're going to feel your muscles, and you might always feel your muscles and stuff like that. But you're just using body weight, and you're not bouncing or anything like that. You're just using body weight. You need to lift heavy in order to build your muscle. You are not going to build muscle no matter what advertisements you hear. You're not going to build muscle, okay? But do it because it is good. My personal suggestions for you guys on weekly workouts, especially if you're not some hardcore person who trains, 3 workouts per week of strength training, 2 workouts per week of sprint jump type training, walking daily if possible, and then stretching or Pilates yoga 1 to 2 times a week. So here's a tip. Workouts do not have to be 1 hour in length. You can get in any kind of workout in a half an hour if it's intentional. What does that mean? That you actually really work your butt off in that 30 minutes. Exercise snacks. Okay. So an exercise snack is when you do small bits of exercise throughout the day. So is this still considered exercise? Listen, if you are going from sitting at your computer all day, this is exercise and this is great. For example, 10 squats every 45 minutes, 10 push-ups 3 times per day, 25 calf raises 4 times per day, 10 minutes on the elliptical or treadmill 4 times per day. That's what an exercise snack is. So just imagine little bites of exercises, bits and bites through the day. Are exercise snacks effective? Yes, there has been some studies done showing that if you do 10 air squats every 45 minutes over your 8-hour workday, it's equivalent to 10,000 steps. What? Really? Seriously? That's crazy, right? But that's the research. And because it's winter and I hate walking in the cold, and I know I'm going to sit at my desk more, I bought less than $200 this, my running shoes are on it, walking pad. Look how small it is. And I put it up against my counter, and I put a box on my counter so I can put my computer there and I can do some walks. I'm not walking forever. I'm just, maybe walking 15 minutes while and I tell you, it goes like this when you're working, and you're typing and you're working, and there goes 15 minutes. And I spent $160 on the thing, and it works. So you got to do what you got to do, but you got to make the effort to do it. If you're thinking about doing heavier lifting, you want to phase in the heavy. If you're a beginner, do not start lifting too heavy from the start. Find a personal trainer. I have a few great ones, or a physiotherapist who can help you with performing exercises with proper form. Start with lighter weights for a little while, but after a few months, begin your heavier weights. Slowly increase those weights. You can perform 1 set of heavy and 2 to 3 of lighter exercises to start, or lighter weights to start, just as you're getting used to the heavier weights. Always record and track your progress. Learn proper form, which can take a few months before doing any heavy lifting. Okay, these are just some tips for you, because obviously I don't want you to be like, okay, Carrie said heavy lifting, let me go. And then you go and you injure yourself, right? Not a good thing. Okay, so we're going to now move over into proper nutrition. Wow, I don't know what happened to my nice picture that was on this page, but it is not here. So Protein, approximately 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. What does that mean? You want to weigh 150 pounds. You want to weigh 140 pounds. That is your ideal body weight. Approximately 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight for protein should be our focus during the stage of life. Chicken, beef, turkey, eggs, salmon, tuna, those are great forms of protein. Fiber, having approximately 21 to 25 grams a day is a good recommendation. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains. And then, sorry, I can't see the next one because the thing is over here. The stupid thing keeps moving here. Good fat, approximately 30 to 70 grams of good fat per day. Avocado, oil, olive oil, nuts, these are good fats. And then if you're going to be working out, pre and post workout nutrition, eating approximately 45 minutes prior to exercise and within 1 hour after your workout is ideal. Focus on protein and some healthy carbs. Training fed is best for women. A small amount is fine. So what does that mean? It means, excuse me, it means rather than going and doing your workout, sorry, I want to find something over here. Instead of going to your workout and having no food at all in your system, you would want to I can't find it, have eaten something. Doesn't have to be a lot. So it could be a protein coffee or a protein coffee with some protein powder. It could be, if you're someone who likes to have like a big yogurt bowl for your breakfast, it could be half your yogurt bowl. About 15 grams of protein before your workout is better than not. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't compare yourself to your husbands or your partners. Our bodies are very different. Our bodies are very different than theirs, especially during this stage. He's barking again and the door is open. I don't understand. So I wrote a note here that I wanted to share on fasted training because I didn't want to forget it. So women's brains, how am I going to say it? This is just a note. Hold on a second here. So yeah, okay. So basically, we want to maximize our workouts, right? If we go in with no food, we may have no power. And that's if you're working out in the morning. So obviously, if it's later in the day, you're going to have had food. So that's fine. But if you're first thing in the morning, you go to work out at 7 a.m. before your day starts, or 6:30 or 6, whatever. It is best to have at least some food in your system for maximal training effort. Okay, so that you can actually have some power. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It's just getting a little bit of food to basically power up your brain. Let's get moving, okay? It's also stress to the body. Your workouts are stress to the body. So you want to have a little bit of protection there in the form of food. Okay, so we're going to just get into a little bit of pre-workout nutrition. 15 grams of protein and some carbs is enough to eat before your workout, but training fed is best. I just said that you could make your regular breakfast, eat half before your workout and half after. For example, a Greek yogurt with some berries, nuts, protein powder, oats with almond butter, blueberries, protein powder, a protein coffee with protein powder. These are kind of before type of meals for before your workouts. Okay, if you're super hungry, eat a regular meal, but just leave approximately 30 to 45 minutes before working out. Post-workout nutrition, you want, doesn't that look good? You want to eat within 45 minutes of training. So after 35 grams of high quality protein for women in reproductive years, or all of us, so not just in reproductive years. I don't know why I have that. It must be an old slide. Women in perimenopausal, 40 to 60 grams because we become more anabolically resistant to food and exercise as we get older. I would say 40 grams of protein is good. 40 grams is good to aim at. Women's metabolism return to baseline within 60 minutes, and men is up to 3 hours. So men have a longer window to eat after they train. They can work out, but wait. We really shouldn't wait too long. 0.3 grams of carbohydrates per kilo within 2 hours of finishing. 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight in a day. So post-menopause workouts, 6 years or more. So if you are in your, let's say, late 60s or 70s, you can change things up again. Okay, so more regular doses and less volume of heavy weights. So we're not going to necessarily go as heavy and hit. Heavy weight can decrease. 4 days of 15 to 20 minutes, more regular but shorter. The reason for this is because we have lost sensitivity to estrogen or progesterone. Regular doses keep us having lean mass, keep our bones strong, proprioception and cognition. So as we get beyond those years, beyond, let's say, the early 60s, so beyond that, we can change it, maybe tone it back a little bit, still want to train, but maybe not as intensely. This is Sarah, beautiful Sarah, lift heavy stuff. I love this picture, Sarah. And let's be strong, not skinny. So I'm gonna now stop my share. I'm hoping people have questions or comments because I love that. But before you do, I made a couple of notes here that I wanted to just mention. I said, don't forget. So what are these don't forgets? Oh, the giveaway, yes. Oh, so because I love you all, I would hate for you guys to believe something that isn't true. And January is coming, and social media is going to be full of it. And it's going to be lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or look like a fitness model in 6 months. I don't know if you guys want to look like a fitness model, but that's not my goal anymore. I really don't want to look like a fitness model anymore. Maybe when I was in my 20s. Don't get pulled in by these things that sound so great. Because when it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, right? So please, slow and steady wins the race. We're not in here for a short time. We're here for a long time. So let's do this properly, and do not fret if one day you don't do your workout. I haven't worked out in, well, 2 days. I had great intentions of it. And before that, it was 4 days, because that's just life right for me this past couple of weeks. It is what it is. You have birthday parties, you eat cake, you do that. Great, just do it. But then the next day, get back on track. Tracking is a really important thing if you really are interested in either weight loss or increasing your muscle mass. Tracking is going to be a really helpful thing. It's just those gimmicky things really bother me. And you know what? People still believe it. Like, I'll see the Facebook Georgetown telling Sal, and people are like, hey, you want to lose this and this through a pill other than Ozempic? Contact me. And people are still like, oh yeah, email me, email me. I'm like, guys, are you serious? Like, how many of these times do you have to fall into these traps, right? Like, be smarter than that. And I know you all are, because you're all so smart. I will be doing a giveaway. What I'm gonna do is, because there's so many people, I can't jot down the names. I will be going back into the people who are on here, which I can do through Zoom. I'm going to creating a wheel thing. I'm going to post it on social media. I'm going to do one giveaway. It's going to be my food and fitness journal, perfect for your tracking. I'm going to be doing that as one giveaway. My second giveaway is going to be 1 month of my advanced package for Drop It Like It's Hot. And my third prize is going to be 2 months of advanced for my Drop It Like It's Hot. So there will be 3 prizes I will do a draw for. Okay. Now I'm just going to see the chats, and then if anyone wants to talk to me. Oh, we got some stuff here. Okay, I'll go to the chats first, and then we'll see if anyone wants to talk to me. Linda, I'm 54, recently diagnosed moderate cartilage loss in knee. Do collagen drinks help rebuild collagen? Also, exercises that help as squats hurt. Okay. Collagen drink. What's a collagen drink? Okay. Do you mean like a collagen supplement, or what's a collagen drink? Okay, hold on. And then squats, also exercise that can help with squats hurt. Subcollagen powder. Kim, are you answering Linda's?
Yeah, I'm just saying, Carrie, someone told me about that recently too, and it's this powder they say put in your coffee or whatever. It can help with some of the tension and joints and that stuff. So
Yeah, actually, I have one at the studio. It's the CanPrev brand, and it's collagen for specifically for joints. Um, so I don't know what the drink is exactly that you're having. It just has to have a good content, potency, or whatever of the collagen, and it's helpful. Is it gonna make it go away? Probably not, but it could definitely help. Other things that have collagen are bone broth, really good collagen source. Okay. Now, exercises that help as squats hurt. Okay, so exercises that help your knee, is that what you're asking? If that's the case, you want to do things like a leg extension. So you can, it's hard to explain. You're sitting on your chair, and basically, let's say this is your leg. What's that? Oh, you're like this, and your leg goes up and down. If you have an ankle weight and you go like this from this is your knee to your ankle, knee to ankle. You're sitting on a chair. You're doing this, flexing the quad. That is a good exercise for your knee. But Linda, contact me after, and I can give you a few exercises, okay, that would be helpful for your knee if your squats are hurting. What is protein coffee? Oh, one of the lady on the cover. Protein coffee. I have it at the studio. It's the one I carry. It's called Bruced. So Dr. Stacy Sims talks a lot about it actually. So I'll do a half a container protein coffee, a half a scoop of protein powder, a little bit, tiny bit of water, and some ice. Blend it right before my workout. It's a great, quick, easy, simple thing to have. And the one that I carry is Bruced. I think you can get at Costco. I'm sure there's other brands too. iPhone 2, I don't know who you are, but you said you're so right, Carrie. You said I'm so right, so I like you already, even though I don't know who you are. All this quick fix things don't work for the long run. Thank you for this amazing presentation. You're very welcome. Perfect for pure muscle class. Exactly. Some collagen powder. Linda, I have the Sun Warrior type of the collagen. If that's, yeah, that's good too. But you might have a collagen booster. If it's Sun Warrior, it says collagen booster. It's not enough. It needs to be the actual collagen. Bone broth, yes. Yes, at Costco and Walmart. Okay, so thanks for the chats. Does anyone have any questions for me in person? Nobody wants to talk to me. You guys just want me to do all the talking. I know I talk a lot, but Nancy's laughing. You know what? Come on, someone say something to me. No? Okay. Nobody has any other questions either. So, if you do have, was something here. Oh, if you do have questions, always just email me. I'm always happy to answer your questions. I'm so happy to see you all on here. Dr. Stacy Sims, Marie Haver, and Vonda Wright are three really great people to listen to on social media. And if you want any of those podcast recommendations, because I listen to all of them, I can send them to you. Drop It Like It's Hot will be restarting in January, and in Drop It Like It's Hot, we really focus on food. Awesome, Linda. I'm glad I gave you some information. So I've got someone, Victoria, you have a question for me.
Is a pure muscle class the class you would recommend then predominantly for heavy lifting, if that's what like we wanted to focus on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So our pure muscle is we focus on heavier lifting and progression. We do 3 sets of every exercise. We break 45 seconds in between each exercise, depending. Sometimes I change things up a little bit. But yes, pure muscle would be the class. Our body sculpt classes always use weights too. Sarah, actually, she's on here. She teaches Monday night body sculpt classes, and she's going to challenge you to do those too, and mixes it up. Phenomenal classes. Her clients love her classes, love, love. Um, and Noah will be doing the same. So for our other classes, most of them do incorporate strength training and encourage you to do heavy lifting. Pure muscle, that's what it's about. And we track, or that's the plan. I'm going to get on everybody's butt in January to track. But yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. See, Nancy, yes, Sarah's class. You're welcome, Karen. I do heavy lifting and she kicks your butt, doesn't she? Um, Awesome. Any other questions before we go? And then hold on, Nadia said we lift heavy shit in your body sculpt too. Yes, in my body sculpt, I make you lift heavy shit too. And when I know who you are, it's even better because I can go, oh, you have 12 pounds? No. Here's the 20 pounds. Here you go. That's what I do to my clients because I'm not gonna let you get away with it.
Hi, Carrie, Joanne here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Joanne. Yes, I can.
Hi, really enjoyed your presentation tonight. I can't figure out how to work Zoom. I'm doing it on my phone and I haven't used Zoom in so long. So
That's
I'm glad
okay.
you can hear me, but I enjoyed your presentation tonight and lots of great information and really appreciate your workouts.
Thank you. Thanks, Joanne. All right. Is everybody ready to call it a night? I hope you got some good information. I hope it gave you something to think about. I yes, I can send the presentation. Sarah, you're so sweet. I can send the presentation through email. You're very welcome. Thank you, Sarah. Love you guys. Love you. I'm gonna send it through email. I'm gonna tell you who the winners are. I'll do the random picker thing so you see that I'm not cheating, which I wouldn't do, but um, let's have a long quality, amazing, powerful, empowering life. Thanks, guys. Love you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'm loving these hearts that people are putting on. How the heck? This is so cool. Text, man. Wow. I'm loving them.
Carrie,
Yeah.
I just thought of something I just wanted to ask. Is it too late
Okay.
to ask?
Well, hang on. I'm going to actually stop this.